Ready? Okay.
Hey everybody, it's me, Mr. Santee, Rob McNillis, and I'm coming to you from actually right now from the garage because we're getting ready to go out on a little trip here. Actually, I get to go with Daniel. We're going to go do a little bus trip. Where are we going, Daniel?
So we're going to be supporting our local Veterans Hall in El Cajon. My dad, who's a Vietnam vet and is the commander there, gets a bus together every year. We go to the horse races and have an awesome time hanging out with our veterans here in East County.
That's a beautiful thing. So those of you who don't know, this is Daniel Buxa. He is the owner-operator of Mission Realty Group. And then the beautiful and talented Nikki Copa is with us today as well. For the other side that don't know Nikki, she is the Chief Compliance Officer for Century 21 Award. Nikki, you're up to how many agents now?
We're roughly 750.
Roughly 750 and in 3 different counties?
Yeah, we cover San Diego County, Riverside County, and Orange County. We do some expansion into LA, but we haven't really established a footprint there yet.
And so, and you do compliance for all of it, correct?
I do.
So
It's definitely my job to make sure that people understand the rules, the paperwork, the contracts. I do a lot of the education, and then when we see issues coming up with market conditions, then we go back in and say, all right, you need to revisit this. Let's go ahead and look at this. How do we work with contingent offers, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, especially contingent offers.
They're a thing again.
They're a thing again, aren't they? And hence the reason that we're talking about this today. So the idea, and I have to admit, I have to give credit where credit is due. This really was kind of, Nikki and I were BSing and talking about the changes in the marketplace and going back to some of the basics, but going back to the basics with a little bit of a new twist. Now, we used to do these pitch sessions all the time at the East County Association of Realtors back when I was president there, and Nikki did them in South Bay, but you did them live. You still, and I know they still do them, but Daniel truly is one of the masters of Zoom. All of his buyer consultations, and there's hundreds of those a year, are all done on Zoom. He helps all of his agents with them as well. So kind of putting the two together and doing a pitch session on Zoom with both offices. So the idea that I had in this was that this would be a great cross collaboration. So agents from both C21 Award and Mission Realty Group would get to know each other a little bit more. It's always easier to do a transaction with somebody you've kind of seen face to face or you've talked to. I always love to break bread or have a cocktail with them, but it's a little, the face to face interaction does make a transaction move a lot easier and helps put things together a lot faster. The other idea is that this will be a place where you can share the things that you wouldn't necessarily want to put on the NML or the MLS. I said NMLS lending side, right? Kicking in the MLS. So that type of information. Hey, this is a divorce situation, and we need to be cognizant of this issue or that issue, and work with me on this, and we'll help you with that. Those little things, the little nuances that help truly put a transaction together that you wouldn't necessarily want to just throw out there to anybody and everybody. So building that camaraderie together with both teams, I think, is just a fantastic idea. And you guys luckily agreed to it.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things I really like about the whole thought process is that we've become disconnected. And because of the pandemic, then, everybody's doing everything by text. And because I'm compliance, I handle a lot of disputes. And a lot of times it's just because we don't know one another, and the way that person texts is different than the way I text. And so all of a sudden he's a jerk. And, once upon a time,
I did it one time, and I'm a jerk forever. Goodness gracious.
All right, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so being able to get to know the other people on the other side, and Daniel works very, very hard to educate his agents as well. So it's always great to have a good transaction with somebody that understands the end goal is closing this for our clients.
Amen.
And using the RPA as a roadmap, but getting to the finish line. It's not about our egos. It's not about anything else. It's just for getting to that closing date.
And when you work together as agents on multiple transactions, you kind of know each other. It's the second time is just so much easier. It really is. It's so much easier because you have that history together. You do know that there is no ego. You know that the common goal is to get a transaction closed and provide a referable experience every single time. That's our motto at Movement Mortgage, which, by the way, Rob McNell's Movement Mortgage. Yeah, I didn't mention that part. That is our goal, is to provide a referable experience every single time. So putting all this together, that is part of the idea. The other thing that we want to do is maybe talk just for literally a couple minutes each week about where rates are, maybe what's going on. If anybody has a question about, hey, I heard about this program, what do you think? Have you experienced it? What worked with it? Liked it, hated it, whatever the case may be. Daniel does an excellent job each and every week. I've seen it. I've been there with his team, especially some of the newer agents on mentoring. So like a mentoring minute, just, hey, here's a great tip that you've come across working open houses, because you still work open houses every single weekend, sometimes 3-4 in a weekend, because you also help other people on your team with theirs. And he really is, I've seen it firsthand. He's really great at building bridges with people that walk in the door at these open houses really, really quick. And he's just got a little bit of a system for doing that. And I think that would be great to be shared with everybody. Now, not to say that it's going to, one thing works well for everybody, but it's something for somebody doesn't really have any idea on how to do that reasonably well. So Nikki, being in compliance and knowing, not only that, being very involved with the State Association of Realtors and California Association of Realtors, like, you're going to be president someday.
I don't know about all that, but
it's gonna
yes,
happen.
I do try to stay up to date on everything.
So she really is at the tip of the spear for anything coming down from CAR, which would be, I think, a huge, just a huge bit of knowledge for. I know she already educates all the people at C21 Ward, but even helping at Mission Realty with just, once again, just that collaboration. And if this kind of works out well, we're able to get more homes sold, get it done quicker, get it done faster with more collaboration. At the same time, I thought what was really good when we used to do the pitch sessions back in the day was even talking about buyers needs. Like, I've got a buyer looking for a place specifically in this area. If you know anybody, please give me a shout, or you've got one coming up soon, or you've got somebody thinking about it. You might want to contact them, and then let's get together and let's chat. All those little things are really huge for helping everybody be successful in this market. Yes?
Absolutely.
Are there any other things that I missed that we kind of talked about bringing to this session? And that's not to say this is the end all list, but I think that's really kind of the premise of it. And we're going to start this next week. So what we'll be doing, I probably should get that out, and we'll put some instructions in an email format for everybody to be shared. But the premise of it will be, if you've got a listing, we'll send me over, or actually Tyler, my son, he's the one going to be doing the backside stuff. Send him over the NMLS number and your photo. He'll put that into his template, so it's your picture coming up, and then you get to pitch your property while he'll flip through all the pictures in MLS for you, and just kind of get it done that way. And of course, if there are any other little bits that you want to put into that presentation, just let him know. He'll be able to do it. But we want to do it 24 hours in advance. We're going to do it Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. Just kind of figured that was easiest way, and it is via Zoom. You can come into our office if you want. You want to pitch live, not a problem. We'll have some orange juice and champagne, probably. That's me. That's where we go.
Just to put a little spin or feedback on this, but I always feel like partnering with people and treating other realtors really in the industry as business partners. Like, we're not here to necessarily always be competition or taking business. We're here to promote each other and build each other up. But I feel like it'll be a tremendous value to our sellers to get more exposure to their listings, and not to put down any of our local boards, but a lot of the caravans and things that they do are very focused towards partners like escrow, title, home inspectors, termite inspection companies. And a lot of realtors have kind of been turned off by the fact of that, because they're not there just to like promote and pitch their listing. Now they're getting calls from 20 different vendors after they go to an event. I feel like this will create a lot of value for real estate agents. Will help them in their listing appointments to be able to help promote their listings and get more exposure out there without the fear or thought of you're going to get nailed by 20 different vendors when you go to an event like this.
Perfect.
That's my quick pitch on it, but I always feel like creating more value to our sellers, especially in a market like this, is nothing but good.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a lot like a mastermind too, just like when you and I
Yeah.
sat down and started talking about this, Daniel. I learned a lot from you that day, and just listening to how people do things a little bit differently, and oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Those kinds of things, that makes us better. It makes all of our agents better if we collaborate. We're really not competition. We need each other to get to the end of the transaction.
Amen. Love
Amen.
it.
So the instructions will go out via email. I'll be sending that to Nikki and to Daniel, and you'll get it out to your respective teams. And we will see each other in 1 week from today, 9:30 a.m., and be ready to knock this out of the park. Expecting it to maybe last 30, 40 minutes, probably max, because let's get pitching, let's get this done. Not a whole lot of BS, and let's just get it done unless people have questions that they want answered, and then we'll stay and do that at the end, so that people that want to get their pitches out and those that just want to see what's being pitched can get on with their day and not have to worry about the Q&A at the end. Does that sound fair?
Sounds great.
All right, guys, thank you very much for your time. Daniel, we'll see you in just a few
Have a
minutes.
good one, guys.
On the bus.
Thank you, Nikki.
Nikki,
Bye,
God bless
guys.
you. Have
Have
a wonderful
fun.
day. Alrighty,
That'd
bye-bye.
be good.
Bye.